tonight's performance and just just in general, like where you're at with the team. You're kind of 11 games into it, kind of getting to know your defense, or a lot of new guys, that kind of stuff. So talk about how you played tonight and just overall, Clay, how things are developing with the team and you getting to know who's in front of you.
I think our team is fantastic. I think everyone's just, obviously it's evident we're a lot younger, but I think the guys are super hungry to learn and want to develop and want to learn how to close out games the right way, how to really get down in the gritty areas, getting pucks deep. I mean, it's say it all the time, but it works, right? And, you can just see it, like the commitment to blocking shots in the 6-on-5 there, like regardless if I'm set on the shot and can get a clear look at it, the guys find a way into the lane and block the shots just to protect me. And it's been fun. We have a great group. It's fun to come to the locker room. It's fun to be out in practice. Everyone's just super willing to work and get better.
How meticulous are you about what your preferences maybe with stuff? Do you communicate? What's the communication like with Nesser and the defensive units, the coaches? For you as a goalie, are you meticulous in what you're looking for, and do you were communicative about that?
It really depends on the situations. I really just try to play the game in front of me, and the guys are going to commit themselves, so working as hard as they can to kill plays, kill rushes, but it's the American League. Like, guys are going to get shots through. They're going to make plays off the rush, and we do talk about like situations like if a guy's coming down the flank or whatever, and a guy getting a stick on it, and depending how far out is he, should you just let him shoot it if it's a clean view for me, because more often than not, if goalies can see it, we're going to make those saves more often than not. But I just, I think, if guys can get sticks on it and, get the pucks out of play, do that, play your defensive game is, what I tell them. And we'll worry about that later. Sometimes they get, if a puck gets tipped off and, finds its way into a weird area on net and just happens to go in. I mean, it's happened, once this year. And, but, how often does that, really happen? But, so I just say, do your job, and I'll do mine. We'll work together. And I think one of the bigger things we talk about is just puck plays behind the net. Early communication is huge with that, and the guys do a great job getting early calls for me, and getting to the right spots in the ice so I can give them a clean pass. And I thought we executed a lot of plays like that tonight, and it's been really good.
As a veteran goalie, or do you see the game a little differently than you did, like in your first year with the league? You know what I mean? As you develop, are you seeing things? I mean, that just kind of like, oh yeah, I've seen this before, that before. How big a difference is that in you personally?
Yeah, I mean, experience helps with any job, right? And I think there's a big portion of goaltending that not a lot of people talk about, which is memory and reading what's about to happen, what kind of patterns are out there on the rushes, right? If teams have a tendency to hit the late guys, have a tendency to huck pucks to the back door or whatever, and that kind of changes my game plan if I'm gonna maybe play a little bit more conservative on rushes, or really attack a puck. Or I tend not to do that as much these days, as you probably tell how I play. But I mean, I think maybe a little deep on that goal against tonight, but overall, yeah, I think experience is huge. I think I have a plan to give myself a shot to make saves on a lot of plays, and sometimes pucks are going to go in. It's just the nature of the game. And if you're playing your percentages and you trust your structure and your skill level, you're going to have good outcomes. And making good decisions on the ice is something I really emphasize with Juha, our goalie coach, and he's been incredible for me over the past few years, right? And great relationship with him. I have a lot to give to him in regards to my play, so thankful for him.
Clay, you had a couple of rough outings in a row there, a little bit earlier in the season. Last two, you seem to have really connected in. Has there something been changed for you that you've been able to be a little bit more confident in net, or is it just maybe some of those weird deflections that you talked about aren't happening as much?
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you just feel like you're getting tough beats, like I'll say it in the Lehigh game. I said it to the guys, like, that fifth goal is unacceptable by me. But you know, you watch some of the games, and if from an outsider looking in, it's easy to say that I was having a tough outing there and stuff. But when guys get into dangerous scoring chances, and they're all alone with the puck in the slot, you sometimes you expect our guys to score those, right? And so the other team's thinking the same thing. But I'm a goalie, and I have a philosophy that every puck is savable, and every puck, no matter what, there's always something a goalie can do to make a save, and definitely feel like I trust my game plan. I trust my process. I've learned a lot playing pro, and it's just I stick to it. I have confidence in myself. I have confidence in the way I play, and I play the right way and I make good decisions, I'm going to have really good outcomes a lot of the time.
The last 2 seasons, you've kind of been the mentee with Hunter Shepard up in front of you. Now you're the number one here in Hershey. You're the mentor to a younger goalie in Guerin. How has that role been, getting accustomed to that, and how's the relationship between you and Guerin as kind of the brothers in the crease here?
I'll touch on our relationship first here. We signed together. We signed the same year. We were slotted to be goalie partners in South Carolina our first year. I mean, unfortunate for G that, a tough injury that kept him out the whole year, but he's an incredible human. He works his butt off, and just such a happy guy to be out there. Just a guy that loves to talk about the game. We have all the support for one another in the crease. I'm never that guy to, feel sorry for myself if I'm not in the crease. I want to see my goalie partner do just as well as me, and he's been great. And we'll definitely continue to build that relationship, and really put together a string of games and play well. And when we have a week to work on stuff, we really dial in and talk about our game and work on those details that help us be successful, put ourselves into tough situations in goalie ice so that, it makes you feel a little bit more comfortable. And for me, I think, talking to him about, some games or, maybe goals he feels like he should have back, or, things like that, just helping him, navigate, a full AHL season. And, it's tough in this league, guys battle hard, they come to the net hard. It's, you're not always going to get clean views on pucks from the top. It's heavy traffic. It's battles in front, and just giving yourself the best shot you can to make saves. And I think we've been developing a really good plan together for that.
Can I just do one more thing? Sure. Sorry. Difference between Kinger and Nelly. Like, you have 11 games now in training camp. What's it like playing for Coach as opposed to Nelly? What are the differences between the two?
I think they have some similarities, some differences, and they're both incredible humans. For one, I'd like to say, Kinger comes in and he's gives us big support. Even after I felt like I had a bad one in Lehigh that time, and I tell him I feel like the game's on me, and he gives me all the support, and he sees how I can play, and so I think that says to his character a lot, right? And helping out, and he likes to be around the group. He likes to talk to us, and that everyone feels comfortable going to him, and I think he's just been the best for us. And I think sometimes going into a new group, it's probably a little bit trying. I don't know what it's like to be a head coach here, obviously, but I think he does a great job with managing our group, managing our highs, managing our lows, just keeping us pretty even keel.
Awesome. Thanks, man.